If y'all saw my hands, you would scream and tell me to go exfoliate, which I probably will actually after filming this episode because I feel like I just confessed a little too much. Hi guys, welcome back to my literal journal. Welcome back to SRSLY, episode 9. We are here in the third episode in my home. And we're back alone because I have a lot to tell you. This is about to be like one of those, you know, in churches when they have that. I've never seen this in real life, only in the movies when like someone's about to get possessed in there. But the little like rooms where you go in and you open the window and then you say your confessions. This is what this is about to be. I'm about to confess because I went to a party this weekend. I haven't been to a party in like months, honestly, and like enjoyed myself at a party and like really just like let go, if you know what I mean. I let go yesterday, or 2 days ago now. Yesterday was my hangover day. Okay, wait, I didn't even want to expose myself like that, but whatever. Anyways, I went to a party. I'm very much the type, like I think all of my friends know this by now, and like I know this about myself. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out. I never go out, I want to make sure that when I go out, it's like the best of my life. So I go hard every time. It was Josh Richard's birthday party. Loved Josh, loved seeing him, loved seeing everyone. It was a great time. I ended up... Okay. Hopefully you saw my first episode back in my house. It was episode, I think, 7 of SRSLY. And if you haven't, I would go listen to that first because I'm about to catch you up on a lot of things in my life. A little drama, a little making up of friends, just crazy stuff that went on, so go listen to that first. But as we all know, I've been on this journey of self-healing this year. I've been doing really good at just like keeping to myself, making decisions for myself, making good decisions, staying with the people you know that are good for me versus the ones that are not. So I've been doing really, really good. And there was that one group chat that I decided to leave 2 months ago, right? With all of my friends in it. I'm back in that group chat. All of those friends were actually at this birthday party, so we kind of had our first reunition. I actually called up one of them before the party, and I was like, hey, heard everyone's going to the party tonight. Shall we reunite? So I ended up going to their house, seeing everyone, going to the party together, and at the party, me after like 3 drinks, like I'm the type of person, like if there is like beef or drama with someone, which there was actually, like there was one person, literally only one person out of like 10 people in a group that I felt like I had to like had a conversation with. And I'm not the type to like really just be sitting there like going through a party, like hanging out with everyone and like pretending everything's fine. Like I'm not that kind of girl. Like if we have a problem, let's just like squash it real quick so then we can like literally have the best night of our lives together or hate each other. So I had that conversation with this one individual where I apologized, they apologized, obviously after a drink or two, and it was a great time. Actually, I was like, can we talk? And they were like, we're not when we're drinking. I was like, girl, I'm not, like, I'm completely here, and I want to, like, be here, and I want to have this conversation with you. I remember the conversation perfectly. It's like, not, that wasn't the thing for me. So I forced them to have this conversation with me, and it went really well. My, like, view on life really and like friendships is relationships, anything honestly in general. I never want to have like animosity or bad blood with anyone because that just makes me so uncomfortable, probably them so uncomfortable, probably everyone around us so uncomfortable because why have hatred towards someone that like you probably have good memories with and like have built some sort of relationship with? Like, yes, of course, if they're awful for you and like they treat you like shit, beat it and like get away from them, but you don't have to do it in a way that like they would feel some sort of way if they saw you or vice versa. You never want to make your life uncomfortable. I want to go to these parties, I want to go to my friend's house and never like have anxiety about fighting with someone. I like, why fight? I don't know if sometimes I really think I'm so like not delusional but like not oblivious either. I don't know what the word is, but regardless. So that's my philosophy on life. I I always suggest that if you have any problems with someone, it's better off to just confront the issue and move on and just have a peaceful life. So right after me and this person made up, everyone around us was like, y'all made up. And then everyone was like, Mario, can we add you back into the group chat? And I was like, yes. Immediately I was like, yes, absolutely, just add me back. Because obviously, like, with like a drinky, like, you're like, everything's fine, everything's happy. Now looking back at it, I still don't really know how I feel. I'm really happy that we're back on with Seriously and that it has become this like journal thing, because I genuinely want your guys' opinion on this kind of stuff. Like, if you don't want to comment it because you're a little shy and nervy, like, that's fine, then DM me about this stuff. But like, we are all going through life together, and as much as I may seem like I have some of my shit together, stuff like this I still question. So to really give a synopsis, I don't know if that's the right word, but I left this group chat 2 months ago to better myself. I do feel like I have healed in these past 2 months, so I feel like I may have more control over how I let things affect me, you know what I mean? So in a way, I'm not like completely opposed to being back in this group chat that sometimes would bring my mood down or make me feel some sort of way. However, I do know that I am sometimes better off kind of in my own kind of world, and then when I want to integrate myself into the rest of the world, I do so, such as 2 nights ago for the first time in 2 months, you know what I mean? But I left this group chat 2 months ago, asked them to add me, or not asked them to add me back, but was added back 2 days ago, and I don't think I can leave just yet without it being just so weird. Like, you're such a freako, Mario. Like, why be added back? And why is it such a big deal to me? Maybe I'm making a big deal out of something that shouldn't be a big deal. I don't know. I kind of need your guys' opinion on that. Another thing that happened that night, I got a brand new camera. It's a Canon, like, digital camera. You know how all the girlies on Instagram right now are using digital cameras and posting up and flicking up at parties and stuff like that? Girl, I got this new digital camera. It was one that was sold out for so long. I found it honestly because of Alex Earl, who is that new TikTok girl. And I honestly am kind of obsessed with her. At first, I was like, who is Alex Earl? Why does everyone keep talking about her? My friend Alexis Oakley, she's a makeup artist, and she did her makeup, and she was like, oh my god, I just glammed Alex Earl, and the girls were gagged. And I was like, who is Alex Earl? And then I got into it, so love her. But anyways, I found this camera because of her literal Amazon storefront, bought the camera. Me shouting out her literal Amazon storefront, like, she's about to get some. Actually, is she gonna get anything? Who knows? But I got this camera. I was so excited. Keep in mind, it came in that day. So that night of that party, I decided, I was like, girl, I'm going to take my camera. I took some pictures. I posted on my Instagram. Go check them out, seriously. But I took the camera, and mind you, all of my friends literally left me. Like, Lila left to go to, like, somewhere else. Like, everyone was just running around everywhere. I was with Amanda and Keo till the end of the night. Me and Amanda, sometimes we really are on the same, like, vibe and wavelength. So we were really vibing. And then on the way home, I knew I had my camera. Whatever, point is, it's like 2 a.m. I'm back at my house, bawling my eyes out at 2 a.m., alone in my house to, like, Mochi. I was FaceTiming every single friend because I thought I lost my brand new Canon camera. I was texting everyone in group chats being like, my brand new camera, all my memories are gone. I'm so sad. Everyone's like, Mario, it's okay. Like, I was on the phone with Amanda and Keo. They were checking the car. They were like, no, it's not in the car. I was bawling my eyes out, so embarrassed. Keep in mind, like Amanda's, like, with me on my wavelength, but Keo's completely sober, so that's just so embarrassing. The worst thing that could ever happen, I think, is, like, you being, you know, just slightly bit incoherent, and then having sober people around you just watching your every move. So here I was, bawling my eyes out. I called Isabella Fusco. I was like, will you drive me back to the place that it was, like, the party was at? Like, I was calling the place. They were closed. I almost called a car, and then Isabella was like, no. And then I was on the phone with Stassi, and she goes, Mario, check your pockets. And I go, I don't have pants on. Like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I didn't have pants on. And then she goes, yeah, check the pockets you were wearing all night. And I go, oh my God, are you being psychic right now? And then I go to my bathroom. All of my clothes are there on the floor. I was like, oh, my clothes, yay. I look, in the pocket of the pants I was wearing. And the camera was right there. So, point is, what the literal hell? Like, there's actually something wrong with me. I think I literally, quite literally, okay, I'm just gonna expose myself. Do we even care? We've all been here. I'm a good time, all right? Let me just say, I'm a good time. Also, this hat is so cute. I bought it literally a couple days ago, but anyways. If I'm out at a party, I think, and I don't want to like toot my own horn, but like my friends always do tell me like it's so fun when I go out because I am just like normally I'm like a ball of like positivity and fun, but when I'm like on that wavelength level, I'm like a fireball. I'm like a tornado. That's how I think I am. I think I'm a tornado, but they're like, no, you're like you're so fun and just like giggly and like everything. But in my head, I'm a tornado. This is why. Amanda Diaz and I, as soon as I walk into the party, me and her had like a little bit of, we didn't have any beef actually. I'm just like a little drama whore, but she like didn't text me back one time or something. So I go up to her at the party and I go, Amanda. And then I start talking to her. I'm like, oh, I cannot believe you didn't text me back. Whatever. I'm just like doing whatever. I'm doing my thing. And I'm obviously like already like having like a drinky. So one of my friends, Nor, comes up to me and I go, beat it, I'm having a conversation. Like, but never in a mean way. Like, I love everyone so much, and everyone knows like that I love them, and I'm like so friendly with everyone. I'm so comfortable with everyone that I feel like I can just talk to them like they're all my best friends, which is honestly a good thing, because I do think that no one ever gets offended or upset unless I don't know. And if I ever offended you or upset you, please let me know. But with Nor, I was like, beat it. And then he saw me and my other friend from the group chat having our deep conversation. I go, Nor, you're gonna kill me, but I'm having another deep convo. You gotta go again. And then this one girl comes up to my friend that I was having a conversation with, and I literally look at her and I go, like, but not in like a mean way, just like, I'm just like, I think I just like don't care anymore or something, and everything's just like so nonchalant and funny. I can't really remember this, and I wish I knew who I was standing next to. But either I dropped a glass and it shattered everywhere and then I eye rolled and walked away, or someone next to me dropped a glass, so I eye rolled and walked away. But regardless, I do remember literally me just sitting there and then a glass breaking and me like eye rolling and walking away. But it was really, really funny. But I don't know. I just think I'm a little tornado of fun. And I just want to make sure that everyone has a good time. I would love talking to everyone. I'm like a little social butterfly. But yeah, but because of those actions, because of just the way I am in those times, like, it gives me so much anxiety the next day. I really suffer with it. A lot of my friends don't get anxiety at all. Like, Lila can go out every single night and, like, have the best time of her life, and literally the next day wake up and just, like, do it all over again and not care about any repercussions or just even words that she might have said. But when I wake up the next day, it is like quite literally last night was the worst night of my life, and I like stabbed someone in the throat and had to cover it up because I would go to jail for the rest of my life if someone found out. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I quite literally murdered someone the night before, when in reality I probably just like was having the best time of my life. But anyways, that was my party era, which I asked Antonio this yesterday. I was like, Antonio, because, of course, you know, I called my girl Antonio Garza the next day, every single day. And I go, Antonio, and she didn't get to go, which I'm sad about. But I called her the next day and I was like, Antonio, she made me go also. Let me preface with that. I was calling her, and while I was getting glam, I wasn't even getting glam yet. I had my moisturizer on. I was rubbing it in, and I called her and I go, you can tell me right now if you want to go to the movies. Like, I'll stop getting glam. I'll stop getting ready. Let's go to the movies. And she was like, no, Mario, you have to go to a party. You have to go have fun. I want you to go socialize. I want you to go be with the girls. Like, just go have a good time. And I was like, ugh, if my best friend is telling me to do this, I probably, like, should. I called my manager. I literally called Greg, and I was like, Greg, can I skip this party? Because I skipped one the night before. I just, like, I don't know why. It takes a lot for me to want to go there. But once I'm, like, there, I have a good time most of the times. Also I really had this mindset switch because, and I bet a lot of you guys might do this, whether it's subconscious or not, but back in the day, I used to go to parties and not want to be there. And I feel like that energy radiated off of me because people would come up to me like having the best time of their lives, drinking, having a good time. And then they'd come up to me, they'd be like, hi, how are you? And I'd be like, exhausted, want to go home. And now I thought about this literally last night or 2 nights ago. I was like, if I'm going to a party, I should be wanting to be there. And I should be like radiating that energy, radiating that positivity, radiating that fun. Otherwise, don't go. Like literally don't go to the party. Mario, if you're going to be there and be miserable and like bring other people's energy down, just don't go. And if you're going to go, make sure you're like the life of the party. You know what I mean? So just make sure you do things for you, and it'll like reflect the type of person you are when you're in public and stuff, because I never want to come off as someone that's negative and boring and tight, like tighty, or no, not like tight, like uptight. Oh, uptight. That's the word. Sorry, I'm honestly Chilean. I speak 2.5 languages. Don't be mean to me. But anyways, party was a good time. I cried to all my friends. Oh, and this also, I had this realization a couple days ago. Sociopaths have it a little bit easier, I think, because they don't have anxiety and they don't have like, they don't care about other people's emotions. They probably can just like go to parties, like worry about themselves, go home, not have anxiety, go to work the next day, not care about anything. So do I want to be a sociopath? Kind of. Do I think my emotions sometimes get the best of me and I like run with them a little too much? Yes. Also, oh my God, why do I get such bad hangovers? Like, is it just me? Well, it is kind of just me because all of my friends like don't deal with this, but all the people in my close circle know if I go out the next day for the next 24 hours, I will be like not okay, down bad. I went to a dinner last night and I'm not kidding. My eyes were closing at the dinner table. I was literally like, and I couldn't formulate words. I was just like not in the vibe. And I hate, sorry for the aggression, but I hate when I go out and I'm not in my bed when I feel like I should be I don't know. I just always feel like I should be the best version of myself when I'm in front of other people. You know what I mean? Like, why be in front of other people being like a piece of shit? And I felt like last night I was just giving a piece of shit because I was hungover. And I hate that I can be hungover for 24 hours, like every time. Like today, finally, thank God I feel good. I drank Pedialyte, I drank water, I drank all the things. It's just like I ate food, but I don't know. It's just a part of my life. I was clocked recently by my friend Antonio. She was at my house after we filmed the episode with Amanda for SRSLY, which go watch that. That was last week's episode. But a lot of my friends are always, and not to expose a lot of my friends because I know that they are influencers with private lives, but whatever. Sorry about it. Sorry, I'm super transparent with my life now. I know, the sudden switch up of me like fully telling you guys absolutely everything going on in my life from not posting at all to like 4 months ago is crazy. But this is making me happy. I really want this to be. Does this feel like a journal to you? Does this feel like a FaceTime call? Because that's what I want it to feel like. Like, I bet right now you're either driving somewhere, maybe watching if you like are really like dedicated, or maybe going to bed and just like having me like right before you go to bed, which is a vibe. But girl, what was I just saying? Oh yes. Relationships. My friends are always talking to guys. They're always, if they're not dating a guy, they are talking to one guy, talking to a couple of guys, like just putting themselves out there. And I was having this talk with Antonio and she was just like, wait, Mario, like you don't have a boyfriend and you're not talking to any guys. And in the past year, what was one guy you've talked to? What's one date you've been to? Like, what have you put yourself out there literally once? And I was just like, no. Because I was asking her, I was like, why don't I have a boyfriend? She was like, well, Mario, even when I didn't have a boyfriend or don't have a boyfriend, I was talking to someone, and Haley was talking to someone, and blank was talking to someone. It's just like everyone in my age group and like my friend group and everything is always either talking to someone or dating someone. And if not, they're at least like putting themselves out there in a more social way that's like for, you know, a dating life. You know what I mean? So it just had me thinking a lot. I literally asked my therapist about it. but she couldn't figure out like what's wrong with me. But I just don't know. I don't get it, and I don't want to feel like I'm alone in this because I don't think I am. So hopefully ranting to y'all will make me find someone that's going through the same thing. But I don't have I want to share experiences with someone, of course. I want to be dating, not like dating someone tied down. Like, I'm not opposed to it, obviously, but I'm not like looking for a tied down relationship right now. Obviously, I'm in this era where I kind of like want to focus on myself, work on my work, really thrive. So if a relationship like that where I'm like in love with someone and it's just like perfect and he's really good for me and I'm really good for him, if that happens and I'm not opposed at all. However, the bare minimum I'm looking for right now is just like regular dating where you're talking to guys, meeting guys, giving guys your number, texting guys, FaceTiming guys, hanging out with guys, like whatever it may be. So I want that. I'm not opposed to that at all. However, I think there's something in me that doesn't allow for the communication to even begin, which is sad. For example, this is kind of the example I use for my literal therapist. So, hey y'all, back to therapy we go. There was this really hot guy. Oh my God, I love y'all. This is bestie talk, whatever. Because I told only Antonio this also. But Antonio, my therapist, and you guys. There was this really hot guy on TikTok. So fine. Like, I have a type, I think. Or I have two types, honestly. And I don't think I'm going to expose myself today on what they are. But maybe one day. This guy was so my type. Like, so my type. So Mama followed him. He followed back. He did follow back, and that's just the truth, and that's the truth tea. And y'all know when you follow someone on TikTok and they follow you back, you can DM them. Anyone else, I feel like that I know that was interested in a guy and got that follow back, which kind of is like it's basically like matching with someone on a dating app. If you call TikTok a dating app, this is like matching on him with wait, what? This is like matching with him on Bumble. Like, it's giving that. So when he followed back, I was like, oh, girl, time to say, if he doesn't say hi, time for me to say hi. Like, I don't care. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. So I knew that in that moment, I had the opportunity to get a guy that I'm like, he's like, as of now, from all I see, he's like so hot, so cute, like good personality, like good vibes, like just like so my type. Could have easily started that conversation. Nothing in me could get me to reach out and say hi. I didn't do it. I quite literally didn't do it. And then his account got banned. So then the moment was over. Throwback to 2 years ago, maybe. Hottest guy of my life, like dream guy. I DM'd him. He DM'd me back. We DM'd back and forth. I stopped answering. A couple months later, I go, oopsies, didn't mean to stop answering. He answered again. I stopped again. So, is it a fear of rejection? Which I'm not even opposed to like saying that I have that, but I'm like, is it even that? I don't think I'm scared of, well, maybe I am. I don't know. I really don't know. Is it a fear of trust? Is it a fear of commitment? Is it a lack of interest in just what men have to say? Because truly sometimes it's weird because sometimes I'm like, God, I wish I had more guy friends. I wish I had more boy friends because I like playing video games. I like sometimes doing sports. It's like I do enjoy a lot of like guy stuff. I love my girls too. Don't get me wrong. You know, I love shopping and getting my nails done and like all that stuff. I love the girly shit. But I do like doing some boy stuff too. So I am like, I don't hate men. However, a lot of the times when a man will talk to me, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like the worst conversation I've ever had. Like, me and my girls would be giggling and cackling and having a good time and like high-fiving. And this man right now is like trying to make me giggle with like the worst joke of his life. So maybe it's that too. Maybe it's the fact that in my head I'm like, men are boring and trash. So I don't want to give them my time, which is kind of awful to say. But these two guys, for example, were so fine. And I was so clearly interested in talking to them. And I feel like a lot of the times I see of course we all romanticize like men when we first see them, but when romanticizing these guys, you get to like, you stalk their profile a little, you get to know them a little bit. And these guys, I feel like I would have been like a good match with, good vibe match with, but I still, even then, wasn't intrigued enough or interested enough, or I don't know what the issue may be, but I just didn't reach out. I haven't DM'd a guy in literal like so long, in like so long. And then when I have DM'd a guy, it's gone as far as to like, I remember this one guy maybe like 2-3 years ago that I DM'd. We went as far as for me to be like, what's your snap? Or he was like, what's your snap? And then we added each other on Snapchat. And that was it. So I love giving advice. And I feel like one thing about me is I can analyze any situation that seems complicated or seems a little bit hard, and I can simplify it and give you a 3-step process on how to get out of it, how to make yourself feel better. It's just like I'm a very analytical person. Like, I will figure everything out for other people. However, when it comes to an issue about myself, it is like literally taking calculus as a 9th grader, which honestly I tried to do and had to drop out if I had to go into pre-calculus. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, I guess my hope is that now in 2023, Mama's focusing on her. And when focusing on me, I'm hoping that I'll radiate some sort of new glow and new confidence, or something that will show a more approachable side of me at events and parties and things like that. So maybe organically I could meet a man. And then I feel like I also will work through this whatever communication, trust issue, commitment issue, any sort of issue. I'll work through that, and I'll talk to, my iconic therapist about it and my friends, and see what comes up. And maybe one of y'all will have a good answer that maybe one of you guys has gone through this at some point. I'm 23, so that's the age that I'm dealing with this in. I have friends that like also didn't date until 24 and 25, and that's fine. I'm also not like mad at this. It's just like I know I should at least be putting myself out there for the experience. I want to be experiencing a little bit of heartbreak, or like the little bit of fun, or like just all of the things. I want to experience it. It's part of the growing up experience, and I want to be here for that. Okay, moving on. Also for my visual people, I don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing a full Blackpink outfit today because I wanted to feel really comfortable when confessing all of my sins, and Blackpink is my comfort zone. Also, audio listeners, I love you because that's how I listen to like podcasts, so I relate. I asked you guys on Twitter to ask me a couple of questions / advice you may need. So, and you Twitter girls always come through quick. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through this and see what the tea is. Advice on how to stop leaving. Oh, wait, what? Advice on how to stop someone leaving you undelivered. If anyone's leaving you undelivered, I feel like everyone. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Everyone chooses what they put their time towards. People around me love to say, oh my God, I've been so busy. I didn't have time for this, this, and this. And girl, in my head, when people say things like that, like, I know damn well everyone has time for anything they want to make time for. The only people that don't have time for things are people who are like genuinely so busy with the things they actually care about. You know what I mean? So I text the people back that I know I really, really care to text people back. And I think everyone else kind of works that way too. Maybe I'm completely wrong, actually. Who fucking knows? But point is, if someone's leaving you undelivered constantly, you probably should just stop hitting them up first and see what happens if you stop hitting them up. See what happens if you stop replying the same way that they don't reply. Match that same energy. I've done this with friends, and I have either learned that they do reach out and it's nice, that they do care and, want to make time for you. Or I've also found out that as soon as I stop reaching out, they also stop reaching out. And it just shows that there wasn't enough care in the first place. So honestly, good question, girl. Opinions on Pepsi. Don't mind it, but I'm not a soda drinker. I don't drink soda at all, actually. I drink water, and every single morning I will have a yerba mate. If you guys hear any beeping, I'm sorry, honestly. I live in Hollywood and it can be crazy here. Sometimes there's literally helicopters going around my building just because there's a lot of like crime in LA, sadly. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I think I have mentioned this actually in one of my old like first 6 podcast episodes, but I used to have actually, still kind of do, but I used to have really, 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 really like crazy random intrusive thoughts. One of them, and this is gonna make me sound crazy, but don't worry, I don't have this anymore. Like, I don't think like this anymore. It was when I was like, I think highly, highly anxious, so anything was just like terrifying. But if I ever heard a helicopter going around, I didn't want to stand by a window because I thought I was gonna get sniped by like the person in the helicopter. Like, what a weird intrusive thought. It's similar to the one that I explained on that other podcast episode where I was like, if SWAT came into my house, I would literally be dead because Mochi would be under the blankets moving around and they would probably think that it's me trying to like grab a gun and they would shoot me, but it's really just my dog. So weird intrusive thoughts like that. I have them all the time, or I used to have them all the time. But someone said, how's your life going? Pretty good. Shit got a little confusing this weekend after all this like work on myself and then full switch up and then back in this group chat and thrown back into like a lot of life things. But I just talked to my manager today. I'm taking this week to focus on me, focus on work, let me get my shit done. I was told this like 3 days ago and it kind of like, those words just hit. I literally, as soon as he said it, I was like, damn, those were some good words. I'm going to take that advice. He was like, why aren't we all just working really hard for the next 2 years and then we can like have a little fun afterwards? And I was like, you know what? You're right. Let me just really focus. I think it was about dating actually. Like, why am I trying to rush into dating or something? I don't know. But point is, girl, let's work really hard right now while we're young and just have, you know, the energy. Let's work really fucking hard. Let's focus, and then be crazy little girls after. I don't know. When are you filming your next YouTube video? Oh, I got that twice. With YouTube, I actually am really excited to film my YouTube videos again because I've been really inspired in writing stuff down. I don't know when. People keep asking me like on every platform when. I don't know, but it is coming. I do promise that. If you could go back 5 years in life, what's one thing you would change or would want to change? I think the only thing, I try and live my life without regrets because just like we live one life, why regret? Why regret anything unless I did something awful? Yeah, wait, no, I have like a couple tiny regrets, but I really try and live my life with just thinking that everything happens for a reason and that I've learned something from this and blah, blah, blah. But I think if I went back 5-6 years or something, that's back when I was finishing high school and stuff. But in high school, I do wish I was out as gay. I wish, that's one thing that I just wonder what it would have been like if that was the way it was. I wonder if I would have talked to boys, I think my friendships with, you know, the girls would have been more fun. I did come out to like some friends, but I wish I was like fully out and gay and proud in high school. I went to a school of arts. I was a vocal major at a school of arts. So it's like there's nothing to be afraid of there. It's not like I was going to get bullied for being gay, but I just wasn't ready. And I was like doing the whole social media thing. So it was just like really scary. There was a lot of pressuring factors, but yeah, being gay in high school would have been nice. I think it would have given me more of that like high school dating experience that I lack and missed, which could then be the reason why I'm struggling with relationships now. See how everything from your childhood can really just come back up? It's kind of crazy. How to get over a friendship breakup. Girl, I feel you. Go listen to my literal episode called Why 2022 Sucked. Friendship breakups will be hard at first. Maybe even for a couple of months. However, take that time. There's 2 ways to look at it. You can be like, my therapist told me this, so honestly, thank God. But it's all about perspective. You can either be so sad that you are now alone and that you don't have this friend anymore, that you can't call up and you're always waiting for their call. You can just be sad about it. You can mourn about it, whatever. Or you can look at it from the perspective that like, all right, that is just the way it happened. We are now, you know, friendship broken up. So now it's time for me to focus on me and rebuild the parts that maybe you were being a little codependent with, or just really focus on being the best version of you. And now you have more time to yourself. So you can do more things for yourself. For example, for me, whenever I get bored, I know that something like it may suck in the moment, and I'm like, damn, I'm bored. I wish I had like best friend A, best friend B still in my life with me to like go distract myself. But sometimes being bored is good. It gets your creativity flowing. It makes you want to do things that you probably wouldn't normally do, or just like things you haven't done in a bit. Just being bored is okay. So my advice is to sit with yourself, get comfortable with yourself, love yourself. I have even gone out to eat with myself, and that's been really nice. So friendship breakups are hard, but it's all about perspective. Advice on how to life, specifically moving out and saving money. This is from Henry. Henry, I love you. And Daniel also wants some advice on this. He said this: I'm currently trying to move out on my own. Talk about how it was for you, things you would do differently. Dive into the financial aspect about it if you feel comfortable doing so. Girl, I got you. This is bestie time, so let's do it. I moved out, I guess, when I was 18. Obviously, my situation is a little different. I was very like blessed with the opportunity to be able to like financially hold myself and be able to move out, so that's nice. Moving was a lot though, like moving out from your home and being with, I was still with my mom when I was 18, like she came with me to LA and stuff, but y'all know, I mean, Daniel, Henry, you guys have been with me for a long time, but for the people that haven't, I've moved a lot. I've been moving to a lot of places. I think financially wise, for a lot of years, I lived with roommates because it lowered the rent significantly. Also, you can split things like the internet. You can split, like, your roommates can buy some of the furniture while you buy some of yours. For example, when I lived with Tana, she had all of her furniture, so I didn't have to furnish the house at all. All I had to do was furnish my room, and then pay for my room of rent and et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of financial benefits to living with roommates. However, of course, then you don't get the complete freedom of doing whatever you want or walking around your house naked and making breakfast, like with, you know, no clothes on or whatever. But not that I do that. But financially, I just think don't spend too much on rent. Try and get a roommate. I always think that a regret I'll never have is having roommates, because there's only one age that you can be living with other people. Like, y'all that are in college, you're lucky for this reason, because you get to be in a dorm and get to hang out with people your age, and then y'all can get glam and go to parties together and stuff. So I'm very lucky that in my space, I was also able to find some roommates that I worked with and did the same stuff with. So it was really, really fun to live with them then. Although it might have been chaotic, it's an experience that I know that when I'm 28, 29, 30 and forward, I won't be able to have anymore, because I'll be way more settled into my own life, way more settled down with family and stuff. So first piece of advice, I think move in with roommates, unless you think you'll literally like drive yourself nuts. But you got this. If you need roomie advice, that'll be a whole other thing. But financially, I suggest moving in with roommates. It saves money. Make sure it's someone that you can live with, though, and someone that respects your boundaries. We can go back to the last 2 episodes where I talked a lot about boundaries and stuff, but make sure that they know that if you need to be alone a lot of the time, that your room is your safe space, and they should be, you know, respectful of that. And they shouldn't, like, take your shit and stuff. So just make sure that you don't move in with anyone bad. Other than that, what kind of moving advice do I have? Like, moving out advice? I don't really know. I mean, have the support of your family. Like, if you do talk to your parents a lot, I'm lucky my parents are also realtors. I'm very fortunate with my situation, honestly, but my mom is in the realtor business, and so is my dad, kind of. So they are very good about telling me, like, Mario, this place is way too much money. For example, the place that I'm living in right now, it is my favorite place on earth. Alexis and Lila came over last night, and they were like, Mario, I never want to leave your place. Alexis literally came back over because she just wanted to come and lay down in bed. And then, like, Stassi came over and watched a movie. It's just, I love my place so much, you guys, and I want to do an apartment tour before I move out, but it is so expensive, and I know I shouldn't maybe talk about that because I don't want to ever seem, like, out of touch or anything like that. which I'm not. I'm very not out of touch. I know exactly how much I spend, and I know exactly how much I should be spending, and I know that this is a crazy amount to be spending. But I told my parents last year, I was like, this is the first year that I'm going to be alone, mom and dad, and this was also when I wasn't doing well mentally. So I said, I've saved a lot of money, and I know that you guys don't want me to spend this much money on this place, but I think it would make me happy, and I think it would, you know, do something. And I think it did. Who knows? But I did it, and I told them, I was like, this is the 1 year. Just let me please just... I worked for this, so please just let me like spend my money on this 1 year of rent. And they were like, okay, fine. However, my lease is up in May 1st, and I know that I need to be financially responsible. I'm a financially responsible guy, so I am gonna move somewhere that is less expensive, which doesn't... I used to be so scared about like moving somewhere smaller, but like, girl, what do I need? Like, all I need is me, my dog, space for my stuff, a little bit of storage, and then freedom. Because I spend so much in my apartment here right now, I don't feel like I have a lot of freedom. Like, if I wanted to get up and go to Milan and Paris for a month to do fashion week and etc., and I could even bring Mochi and have an Airbnb there, I don't feel that financial freedom because I'm spending so much here that I feel like I'd be wasting money here and not, you know, have the money for it there. However, if I'm in a more financially responsible place in LA, I can then leave for 2 weeks and not feel like I'm wasting thousands for that reason, and then go do my stuff elsewhere. So try and be financially responsible. Also, my visual people, I'm so sorry if you're seeing this, but I did use self-tanner, and I do look absolutely insane. If you got a close-up of my hand, I actually do think all of you would be really, really scared for me. But I'll put you on. I don't like tanning in the sun, and obviously it's cold out right now, and I was looking ghostly pale, and when I honestly have a little bit of a tan, my eyes pop out a little more, like everything just looks a little bit better. So I was using the Isles of Paradise tanning drops and the tanning lotion, and they just absolutely slay. However, you should have washed your hands immediately after using the product. I didn't wash my hands immediately after because I thought, my hands probably need to tan a little too. If y'all saw my hands, you would scream and tell me to go exfoliate, which I probably will actually after filming this episode, because I feel like I just confessed a little too much about my appearance. Actually, honestly, I don't give a crap. Advice. What do you do if you have a friend group that likes having you around but doesn't include you in some things they do? Should you bring it up nicely or just let it be? Okay, this is controversial, and I wish I had a second opinion here with me. Maybe I should talk about this with like Antonio here or something. But I'm a very type A or B. I don't really know what type of person I am, but I'm a very specific type of person where if there's an issue like that, I am not like a friend will come to me with like the biggest issue like that and just be like, ugh, this person's being awful. They're not including me in this. They're, you know, I feel like I give them a lot of energy and they don't give me the same energy back. They sometimes include me, but they don't. And then they'd be like, I'd be like, okay, perfect. So you know exactly how you feel. So communicate that with them. Go tell her how you feel. And then she'll be like, no, but I don't want to do that. And I'm like, wait, but then how is anything going to ever get resolved if you don't communicate your feelings? How is anyone going to know to fix any sort of issue if you don't communicate your feelings? Your friends could know that they're leaving you out, but they don't know that maybe you're feeling super hurt by it, you know? In their head, maybe they're like, she doesn't want to be bothered and she's being left out because, you know, it might be on her terms type thing. So communicate it, I think. Obviously, if it's a friend group, maybe don't have them have the whole strength and number things, and maybe communicate it in a more subtle, private, one-on-one kind of way. But I always think communication is better, and then you also figure out how they feel, because they could either come back at you with like, oh my God, you feel left out. I'm actually so sorry. I never want to have you feel left out. It was not our intention ever. Or they could come back at you with like, yeah, we just like prefer to do some things without you because you A, B, C, and D. And then you're like, oh, okay, then y'all fucking suck and I need new friends. Or maybe you realize that there's one thing that you were doing that could have been hurting one of them. You know, it's about open communication, going into these like conversations with no expectations and no assumptions. Like, I used to sometimes go into arguments with an assumption in my head of what they were already going to say and assuming the worst and just assuming that my friend hates me when the case was just like there was just miscommunication. So don't assume things. Go in open-minded with positive energy, a good heart, and just tell them how you feel. Tell them that you feel hurt and that you feel left out, and see how they respond to that. Wow. Wait. Holy crap. I think I'm going to become a psychologist. That felt really good. Was it hard telling your parents you were gay and you have advice about it? I think in the first episode I talked about becoming gay. I don't want to keep sending you guys to other episodes, but I don't want to keep repeating myself on my pod. But I guess I'll touch on that one really, really quickly. Coming out to my parents was obviously the hardest thing to do. My parents was actually the hardest people out of everyone, whether it was social media, my friends, or anything. I came out to my friends first, and then my sisters, and then my parents, and then the world. So parents were hard. My parents are Hispanic, and I feel like I was a very high anxious person. So in my head, it was like such a big thing when it probably wasn't that big of a thing as a whole. But in my head, it was like, oh my God, they've known me this way for so long. Now they're not going to know me like this. Also, I'm the only son. Like, there won't be another Selman. Like, I'm cutting off the bloodline. Like, girl, I was having the dumbest, like, anxiety thoughts for no goddamn reason when now they're just nothing but supportive. We don't talk about boyfriends and stuff, but that might be my problem for not having a boyfriend and stuff. But coming out to them was kind of scary. I'm a very, I like to say things very casually if they're ever hard because I think it just makes it easier for me. So literally the way I did it, I'll repeat one more time, is I was on the phone with my mom while I was on the toilet, and I was just like, Mom, I got something to tell you. And she was like, what? And I was like, well, I don't want to say it, so, you say it. And she was like, how am I supposed to say something that you haven't even told me? And I was like, wait, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, something about me, it's something personal, it's like something private that I probably haven't told you in a long time. It's just like, she was like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, I'm gay. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, thought so. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, I don't know. It can be casual. Always, of course. Nowadays, I think it's way more accepted and easier. However, make sure your situation is always safe. Make sure you're in a safe place. Make sure you are emotionally prepared. And I'm here. If you need to come out and need advice or just need someone to rant to, my DMs are always open. So you're not alone. And there's a big, big, big gay community. Like, the LGBT community is always so here and supportive. And yeah, there's always going to be hope and love out there. So don't stress, and everything will be good. Oh, my Blackpink hoodie is literally super dirty, so that's good. I'm going to go do laundry. Today's Monday, everyone. I hope that, oh my God, today's Monday, and that's when the podcast episodes come out. I kind of love that for us. So if you're listening to this any other day, I hope you still have a good rest of your day. But if you're listening to it on Monday, have a good Monday. Have a good rest of the week. We got to push through every single week, girl. Mondays are hard. I have hard-ass dance classes for the next 2 weeks, but that's okay. I'm excited because it's work time. It's grind time, baby. Yeah, I am excited because I think I have a podcast guest coming in next week that will be fun for you guys to listen to. But if you guys do enjoy Seriously, you can go listen to all my podcast episodes on all streaming platforms for your podcast. And if you want to go watch, you can go watch on Past Your Bedtime on YouTube. On that note, I love you. Thank you for watching this Seriously episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.